a big and a strong South African ministerial delegation at WEF, and the message is changing. It's not about South Africa as an investment destination, it's about South Africa leading the charge in a changing global order.
It is quite important. Africa is a growing market. There are many opportunities for infrastructure development, for trade, for economic growth and investments. We are looking at Africa as a very important player in the global market. It's important that Africa should be strongly represented at this forum, especially now that it's held in Africa, and to make sure that we make our case. We're not pleading for anything. We are here to market ourselves and to see what other opportunities exist elsewhere in the world.
I mean, obviously, South Africa recently went to China as a fully fledged bona fide member of Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Many people have questioned that, saying, we're punching above our weight. How do you respond to that?
No, we're not. It's important that we should play at the big league, play among the big players. We shouldn't underestimate ourselves, look down upon ourselves. Let's leave that to somebody else. As for ourselves, we need to be looking high up, see what we can do, what we can leverage in terms of the immense human resources that we have in Africa, the land, the economy, the climate, and ensure that among the big players, we are there playing as an equal.
Many investors who are looking at South Africa right now are looking at the changing policy framework, the new growth path, the target of creating about 5 million jobs by the year 2020, but saying a lot of things don't connect. Growth, for instance, is still below par. It's only in the region of about 4%. You need to have it above 7% to reach some of those targets. Core industries have to work and core industries don't work. Example, energy. We've got electricity today purely because the economy is not growing dynamically. Once the economy grows dynamically, we might have an energy shortage.
In actual fact, we are investing in South Africa's energy complex. The government is busy with the build program. The president announced a 549 billion rand investment over the next 5 years, and we are going to be investing a lot more in terms of the Integrated Resource Plan 2010, which is going to see an energy mix, South Africa bringing in the renewables, bringing in more nuclear, bringing in, continuing to invest in coal generation. And this means that we are preparing ourselves for that growth in the economy. But the new growth path is our vision for the future. It's what we are doing now to prepare for the future. So if our economy is not yet growing at about 7% or more at the present moment, we are trying to ensure that it does by creating more jobs, by developing the skills, by developing the industrial capabilities, and ensuring that we are able to connect all the missing links so that we are able to have the type of economic activity we want.
I mean, within this new growth path and indeed even the Industrial Policy Action Plan, a critical role is seen for the state-owned enterprises in being vehicles of some of the industrial programs that we're talking about, sorting out road and transport infrastructure, getting goods to market, sorting out the energy situation. The national airline in terms of tourism and its role in growth creation. What's your strategy?
We are repositioning the Department of Public Enterprises and the state-owned enterprises as a whole. Government is looking at all the network infrastructure to ensure that our water, our energy, our transport and logistics are positioned properly to support the growth of the mineral energy complex, the growth of the industrial complex. So we are looking at the state-owned enterprises as an important lever in terms of being a governance hub to ensure that we provide the necessary support to industry. But at the same time, we are also looking at the infrastructure development plan as an enabler for the development of industrial capabilities for South Africa. So that, for example, in the acquisition of rolling stock that we need for our passenger rail and for our freight rail, we must ensure that a great part of the money we're going to invest in those programs goes towards developing South Africa's industrial capabilities through localization. So there is a very important role that infrastructure is going to play.
And a final question, obviously governance is another critical theme at WEF, governance of state-owned enterprises, governance of private business, governance of countries. And we know in South Africa, some of the state-owned enterprises have really had a deficit in this particular area, boards fighting with executive management, those kinds of issues, and that's impaired on their competitiveness and their commercial viability. How are you addressing those issues?
The issue of governance is quite important, and we're paying close attention to it. But, you know, it's not only the governance deficit that we might have had in some of the state-owned enterprises, but we've had a backlog in terms of infrastructure itself. And so we're paying attention to issues of governance of the state-owned enterprises, their balance sheets, to ensure that we address the infrastructure backlog and are able to invest in future infrastructure needs for our economy, for its future needs.
Malusi Gigaba, Minister of Public Enterprises, I thank you very much. As you heard there, the views of the Minister in terms of what he's going to be contributing to the World Economic Forum.